Alright y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. Now in today's video we're going to be reacting to a video from the Australian Army, particularly one about the Black Hornet UAV. Now if you're not familiar with this particular drone system, if you haven't seen any videos or news articles, I can tell you a little bit about it. My unit briefly used these for about a month. We got to test them out.
Give it your twist, release.
And it really is a game changer. So it sort of looks like a little RC helicopter, but it's much more than that because it's got a bunch of solid cameras in it. You can actually move the camera around with the controls. It's got thermal cameras, it's got GPS. You can even pull grids off of it. So if you're trying to do a reconnaissance, or you're trying to do like a reconnaissance of an objective, or maybe send in a fire mission, it's very good for that. It's pretty much good for a whole lot of things. You kind of just have to play around with it and see what you can actually use it for. So I'm interested to see how the Australian Army is actually implementing this UAV system, because it really is a game changer, and any army that's willing to invest in this new technology probably knows the benefits that it can actually give them. So yeah, I'm excited to check this out.
The Black Hornet Nano Unmanned Aerial System is a system that we're rolling out to combat platoons across the Australian Army. It's game-changing technology. It provides robotics down to the platoon level or down to the section level. And what it means is that soldiers are removed from danger. We don't have to send soldiers down into an intersection or over a hill to have that first look and see whether the enemy is there. We can send a robotic avatar to do that for them.
So if you can already notice from the video, the thing is super quiet. Like honestly, we would have it maybe like 10 meters away from us, and you would have no idea that it's actually there. So it's really awesome for close quarter battles environment. If, like he was saying, if you want to check out like an alleyway, if you want to check around a corner, maybe check around, you know, what's a couple blocks down, you can use this system like inside of a building, send it outside, and then just check out all the compounds. And that's just scratching the surface of what you can actually do with this. Even in a wooded environment, what you can do is send it up. It's pretty easy to avoid all the trees and whatnot. You can send it above the tree line and just push it out. You can push it out like several clicks, like very easily. So you can push it out above the tree line. No one will hear it. No one will see it. It doesn't really cast a silhouette or anything. And you can just recon the objective. So you're not having to push people up to it and not having to push, you know, your actual dudes within firearms distance. So it's much safer. It's pretty easy. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. I think honestly you can do a recon with this a little bit quicker than having to send some people out and then push them back. So it's very effective, and it's cool to see other militaries actually implementing it.
For them, it increases their force protection and keeps soldiers safer. The Australian Army is the first army in the world to proliferate this kind of nano robotic technology out into the conventional army. The Black Hornet program is very exciting. The Australian Army's been talking about taking advantage of robotic technology and enhancing our army and making it the most combat effective army that it can be for a long time. This kind of technology is a big component of how we do that.
Yeah, so you can see the little monitor you have there. Basically what you can do is you can just strap it. It's probably about this big, the actual carrying case, and you have 2 drones inside of it, and each drone, it's got about 20-minute flight time. So when you're done, you can throw it back on the charger, which is right here, which is where your monitor is. Deploy the second drone, and by the time that second drone comes back, the other one will be basically fully charged. So if you really need to keep pushing them out, that is a possibility. But it's nice. You got the monitor right here. It comes with a little flip up sunshade, and it's very well tailored to infantry, and just you know, they know not to have super heavy equipment like you'd see some quad drones. Those can be a little bit cumbersome, especially when you talk about a reconnaissance element. So this is really awesome for reconnaissance. Again, it's got the thermal capabilities. You can send it above the tree line, do a quick recon, bring it back. It really is awesome. So he definitely has a point where it's saying using these robotics to actually, you know, get a leg up on the competition and get a leg up on like peer-to-peer warfare. Yeah, he definitely knows what he's talking about there.
So now that we have drones, we have the ability to get an eye in the sky before we commit any troops to going into that dangerous area, and that gives us also the ability to have a greater situational picture for commanders to make better decisions. Although it only weighs 33 grams, we can fly it out to 2 kilometres and it can stay airborne for up to 20 to 25 minutes. It gives us plenty of time to achieve the mission. The defile appears to be clear, no signs of enemy movement, suggest amber movement through.
It's a special part of being a...
Yeah, so it is super cool that you can just flip it down. You could probably get the drone up in 2 minutes if you know what you're doing. It's super quick, and you know, you have these younger soldiers and Marines who play video games and whatnot, so I've seen a PFC. He was probably the best one in our company, but I've seen a PFC, you know, become a master with this thing within, I don't know, I'd say maybe 5 hours. He could like weave that thing in between buildings. He can push it out even further than 2 clicks and get a good reconnaissance and then send it back. We didn't have any issues with it getting stuck in anything. We never lost the GPS too much. If it gets a little bit windy, then the graphic, the camera isn't as good just because it's moving around a lot. But it does a pretty good job of stabilizing. And even if it does like crash or what have you, it's got it built in to come back to you if it loses signal, to come back to where it was launched from and then drop there. So that's pretty awesome. And even if it doesn't do that, if it gets stuck in a tree, it'll actually give you the grid so you can just walk to it and recover it. So we've never actually lost one of these, which was nice because they're very expensive, but it really is awesome. Like, it's so easy, and for the younger soldiers and Marines, it's very easy for them to pick up on.
Smart army, smart young soldiers are able to really grip up this equipment quickly, find new uses for it, and enhance what we've done. We're expecting it'll be a big payoff on the investment in the long run.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It is a very, very awesome investment. And it's crazy to think, like, when I first joined the Marine Corps, we didn't have any of this stuff. Like, you would go to like expos and see this stuff on display, and you're just like, okay, yeah, that's probably never going to get to us. It's probably just going to go to the special forces. And that's not really the case. Now we have actual infantry elements using it, and it really is so beneficial because you're not putting people in harm's way. It's very quick, it's very effective. Like, yeah, it's pretty expensive, but it's definitely worth the payoff. So if y'all can get your hands on this or do some training with it, I would definitely recommend it. It's very awesome. It's very awesome for your unit to have. Yeah, it definitely gives you a leg up on everyone else. Even if you're not pushing it out, you can just send it up and just do a little 360, and it increases your situational awareness so much. So yeah, very awesome drone. I want to try and find some more like cool videos about this. If you're interested in looking at some footage of me using it, I'll put the link in the description. It's pretty basic. I wasn't using it during training in that particular video just because we weren't allowed to. But if you guys enjoyed the video, if you want to learn a little bit more about it, I can always do some follow-up videos. Just let me know. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It definitely helps me out. I like it when you guys like and comment and let me know what you think about the video. So if there's something I can do better, if there's something you want me to change up, feel free to let me know. But yeah, that is it for this video, so I will see you all in the next one.